Hello everyone and welcome back to some WARNO action. I just realized I forgot to unpause the game, so now we are back for real and we're gonna go into some Division 1 action here with Snowwolfie versus TiberiusRancor in our first game. And we're gonna go in on Kreider here with some lovely 31st Tankovi on the right side versus one of the divisions that showed up the most and also has a pretty good ring record so far. The 16th Panzer Division of the Belgian, one of my favorite divisions as well, that I have grinded up the ladder with in the past at the beginning of the year. And it only got better since, so this division really has some punch. And it's going to be interesting to see how it performs here under Snowwolfie's command versus a division that is all based around T-72s and some Czechoslovak support units with the 31st here. And yeah, can the Leo 1 of the Belgians hold up there? And can the Belgian speed advantage win? That's going to be interesting when we come to the pick and ban phase. Relatively classic bans here. I find the 6th Motostrelki ban of Snowwolfie and the 4th C-Mac ban of Snowwolfie interesting. Mount River and Kreider, two maps that we see quite often lately. And that get shown quite a bit. And yeah, the second game here of Snowwolfie with one of their favorite divisions, 101st versus 5th Panzer. But 31st versus 16th, gonna be interesting to see. As I said, 16th played a lot. And yeah, 20th Panzerna, 2nd Panzer Grenadier still makes sense ban-wise. 11th Armored is a ban against Snowwolfie, the division that Snowwolfie plays a lot, so that makes sense in that case. And yeah, it's going to be some Leo 1s here, some forward deployment, thanks to the Luxembourgian part of the 16th as well, and the Special Forces Recon, versus on the other side, some Motvachvetka in gas trucks, and then the classic sledgehammer method of TiberiusRancor. TiberiusRancor wants to constantly fight and constantly trade, and it didn't always work out this season. He got absolutely destroyed by Stardeck, so he is under pressure. He needs a win here. Snowwolfie on the other side absolutely needs some points as well if they want to have a chance remaining on the playoffs. So important series here for both sides, and Tiberius here coming in with quite a lot of infantry. A T-72A for the south, one T-72 in the north as well, with the T-72A coming around here, 15 frontal armor, smoke, the OBR 79, 19 pen, and some Streltsy there moving around with them. Yeah, then we have Amvito 2s here up in the north. Here's our GVPs moving around, Eclairs coming around. Down south, we have a couple of M113s, Pioneers of Flamethrowers, and Flampatrone moving around, and Milan going in there. So I feel like Snowwolfie's focus gonna be the top side of the map here, whilst the bottom just trying to contest Bravo inside the forest. But this should be TiberiusRancor's area of advance. Bravo should be locked down quite easily with the amount of forces they got. F-16 here, immediately from Snowwolfie. Trying to get any potential helicopter opener. We have a coup firing, and a coup missing. Getting one missile out of this thing, but there is a Ural truck, so can't just make the coup run out of ammo. Snowwolfie pulling back the fighter. Yeah, here's our GVP here, moving on. Not the most efficient combat units. They are okay in combat, but their anti-tank weapon is one of the weakest RPGs in the game. It has decent range and decent rate of fire, but the 11 pen mean that it can't really one-shot anything that has any significant armor. And that is an issue. And it also is not that accurate and the firepower of the 6-man squad itself is fine thanks to the sniper. Sniper really a bit quite helpful, but the rest is not that great. Humvee here versus Malyutka. Not quite getting the kill just yet, but getting the stun so that the next unit might be able to pioneer with flamethrowers and reservists moving in here into the middle. And the big question is, can Snowwolfie get some advances here in the north? And what can the forces of TiberiusRancor with 5 infantry squads here into the south do? Support weapons here with M113s and OT-64s on both sides as well. That can be pretty helpful at dealing with infantry, but no direct engagement with those just yet. T-64 does advance. Sultan coming in here for the south. Has to be careful, yeah, Malyutka. Flanking unit. Trying to get around. Classic TiberiusRancor trying to get fights on all flanks immediately. 113 getting the engagement. So far, no real kills on either side. We have Sultan getting into the northern part. And Declares moving forward. Starting to capture stuff. Here's our GVP. Slowly advancing as well. Ooh, the Mirage rocket missing the Malyutka here. Losing line of sight there. Wasting its rockets, and that's something that you can't quite afford at this point, with especially not against TiberiusRancor, who just wants to constantly push you. The Mirage has a really short reload time of less than a minute if you get it back, but still, investing into a rocket plane and then having no value out of the first run is pretty painful nonetheless, giving the other side obviously also more time to get more AA up. Second coup already on the way, so the second run of a rocket plane might be less successful. First coup runs out of ammo, as the Ural is used as infantry support and resupply on the front line. 113 start to get picked off. Milan 2 is around and put up some pressure there. CV currently can't rotate into the middle anymore, but for now the south is captured by Snowwolfie. Is up on a +1. Mix90 finds the Alouette and once more stops the Mirage here from actually getting a run onto the enemy there. Mix90 not getting the kill, but damage also means that the reload time is extra long there on the other side, and Snowwolfie hasn't really found a way to put pressure up, and that's a terrible news. If you play 16, that's a division that wants to get kills and wants to play the maneuver, and he isn't really playing territory. Like, he doesn't really have a frontline advantage. He loses the south, he isn't really winning the north, and he also hasn't gotten a single kill yet. The counterpick was the 31st here. Counterpick in game number 1 was up to Tiberius, with the map pick being Snowwolfie's. But yeah, this 16th place so far, not with the speed and the elan that you need for this division to really work out. Sultan here smoking off, will dodge the Malyutka. The F-16 trying to get the kill here. The Belgian F-16s having pretty bad air-to-air missiles, so only 1 out of 6 does find the target, but that, together with the Vulcan gun, still good enough to get the kill. That's a nice start here. And meanwhile, reservists trying to push north. Leopard 1 finally putting up the pressure. This is the kind of pressure that you need with the Belgians. You want to use your cheap, high damage output combined arms from the get-go. You don't have the best staying power. Your Leopard 1s don't have a lot of armor, only 8 on them, but they have good damage output. 16 penetration on max range is really good for the cheap price point. And the 1A5 BE even better, with 17 pen there. Whilst you also have stuff like the Humvee TOW2s that can hit really hard. You have autocannons on your IFVs that can light up light forces real quick and gets you some kills there. But you have to create positions for that, because frontally all your things will struggle against stuff like the T-72s on the other side here. On this shot range here, only dealing 1 damage per hit, whilst the T-72, once it gets a hit here, will do massive damage to the Leopard. So there we go. 7 damage, 1 hit here against this Leopard. Next T-72 comes around, does smoke off. Snowwolfie keeps the pressure up. Well, it's the southern part. Gets captured. We'll need the CV here soon. As the Sultan moved into the center zone. Will contest it. Will stop the tick here at least. As the next Sultan comes up. And the Belgians keep on pushing pressure on here in the north. Sticklers. Pretty solid forces as well. P64 getting attacked by the M113 with its 50 cal. Hoop shooting at the F16. Maybe baiting out a bit of ammo there. Mi-24V rocket. Good unit, but there is a good part here behind this, so you can deal with those kind of units. Mistrals and your Gepards can keep your push pretty clean against helicopters, or you use the F-16s. That's a method as well. This F-16 will die, but that trade is pretty efficient when it comes to card efficiency and okay when it comes to cost efficiency. Meanwhile, reservists keep the T-64 busy. Don't quite get the stun, but allow the Leopard to get the first shot out here. Second Leopard coming around as well. Getting the kill. So good usage of the reservists there, keeping the enemy tank busy. You want to do that again with the next tank. Getting the reservists first, because getting shot at by the T-64 in this range, yeah, that is not healthy. That will lead to you dying, just like that. One shot. The Leopard's for sure not the perfect one for the forest. The usage of the reservists is fantastic, but second engagement, pretty predictable and not so good outcome-wise. Milan's here holding the center. T-64 is kept... T-72 is kept behind the ridge, so can just keep this pressure up. Leopard 1 BE here in trouble. Strelas get the kill. Yes, Chelsea's with the RPG 7VL. Pushing on again. Reservists moving on as well. T-64B, 72B with the strong severe missile and also great penetration. Good frontal armor, making it hard to penetrate frontally for the Leopards. So the Leopard ones here slowly advancing. I'm surprised we don't see the 1A5 BEs. Yeah, there we go. With the extra pen and with the extra accuracy as well. The extra pen and the extra accuracy both pretty helpful against the T-72s. As Sultan pushes forward, tries to get the capture. Mirage has to be careful. Hoop now being spotted. M109 immediately aiming. Good movement there from Snowwolfie. Cleaning up TiberiusRancor. He is overextending a bit here. A classic TiberiusRancor situation here. Trying to push on into spots where he just doesn't have the reinforcements to. Taking the southern hill forest makes sense. Just pushing in infantry into the nothingness here up north. Maybe a bit too deep. Mirage, meanwhile, gets the kill, but will get killed off in return. That's not worthwhile against T-72s, but might give a slight tempo advantage to keep up the pressure there in the north. Hoop did reposition. The Ural next to it did die here, but Hoop itself does get out alive. Another layer of 1, more mech fusiliers. Pretty good mechanized infantry. 3 MGs here, giving them great infantry firepower. They absolutely are terrible against T-72s, but against stuff that they actually can deal damage to, they're pretty good. The Mirage here really not doing anything. This is a weird plane to use here by Snowwolfie in this shape. Like the Malyutka basically taking no damage whatsoever. Whilst the +2 does continue to take up here for Snowwolfie, keeping up the pressure. There comes the contest on the other side. CV of the Sultan will have a tough time moving back in here, and Tabir is about to equalize the score again. Next M109 could be pretty helpful. Malyutka's here. Can be annoying from the flank. More infantry, more tanks. But you want to be a bit more flexible than this. And currently the flexible one actually is Tiberius, finding gaps in the enemy defense. The Malyutka usage here pretty good. And yeah, meanwhile, it's frontal attacks with Leopard 1s. And that is not perfect. T-72 here taking a lot of damage. Unfortunately for Snowwolfie, does survive though. He will get the Streltsy here killed off. And trade in for his Milan 1. But that's about it. Chelsea number 2 gets hit a bit as well. Back Fusiliers. Advancing here against the OT-64. Malyutka does go down, so good cleanup duty there. But you are the one that wants to get the flank shots from up here. So Snowwolfie should try to get around there. Next Leopard here, heavily damaged. T-64A, 72. Why am I so stuck on the T-64s? Confusing it with 25th time and again. Pretty troublesome there. Pioneer Flamethrowers won't do anything. Mech Fusiliers won't do much. And the Leopard 1s here are down now. 109. Trying to get a hit on the T-72. Oh, wow. Okay, Mirage Rocket trying to go straight for the Piusa there. But Pioneer Flam, they will do well against the Streltsy, but not enough firepower there right now behind it. There come the Leo 1s, as I said. Would like to see them splitting up a bit. The flanking shot potential here is big. They are the faster tanks. They are the cheaper tanks that you can spread a bit thinner. The other side has BMP2s, but on a lot of the ranges on this map, BMP2s not all that helpful, and the good gun of the Leopard 2s actually can get into one-shot range quite easily against them. Whilst we have the M109s here missing their target in the middle. That's pretty annoying here for Snowwolfie. Trying to get a clean +1 tick online there. 400 points is an okay start for Cried. That's a decent advantage that the enemy will have some trouble to get back onto if you keep on trading well, but it's not as significantly just yet. Better than on some other maps point-wise, but it's still far from getting this game completely locked down. Leopard 1 BE there has to be careful. Reservists under fire by the T-72s. More Leopard 1s coming in. No cluster bombers for the northern section. A lot of units here. Could use some repair and supply. Leopards coming up as well. And yeah, frontally charging against 40-72s. This is where this game starts to become really problematic. For the Belgians, you at this point kind of need the Milan 2s, kind of need the TOW 2 Humvees to actually have a chance of generating kills here. And those units are not around here. Not even the Leo 1 BEs are around. So penetrating the enemy units here is going to be tough. Your infantry can't do it. You need the good ATGMs. You need the good helicopters, maybe. The annoying little helicopters or the planes to come around and do damage, and neither is really on the battlefield here. T-72A pushing forward. We are 81. Pretty tanky. Leopards doing an okay job. 23. About to get gunned down. There we go. Bombers have some valuable targets here. This could be quite nice. Pioneer Flamethrowers slowly move up and try to generate more points. T-64, 72A pushed back. M109 need to readjust, need to reposition their artillery fire. Whilst T-72A gunned down by a triple layer once. This is the kind of stuff you want. These kind of engagements are what you're looking for. Snowwolfie still has 2 more T-72s pretty low, but is not really on target against either. Mercip here trying to come around. Runs, yep. Dangerously deep there. Gets hit up by the Piusa, gets killed off by the Coup. Bit of a weird run there with that plane. Not achieving anything of significance either. Whilst Pioneer Flamethrowers in combat with the Motostrelki. 113, A1 from the bottom. Keeps on engaging as well. The BMP2 here likely gonna finish the job against the Pioneers. Eventually. Next Leopard moving around. More infantry coming in. But so far, no way really back into the point for Snowwolfie. The trade's okay, but not great. 109, not really finding any significant hits. The center, easy hold currently for Tiberius as well, and that is a real problem for Snowwolfie long run. If more T-72s can get onto the battlefield relatively easily. So that's something that they need to take care of here if they want to have a chance of winning this game and keeping the lead that they currently have. Ooh, Prima plus artillery can be pretty stressful, strong, and also stressful for the units inside. There we go. Both stressed out. One goes down, second one in trouble. Here's our GVP in trouble as well. BMP2 gets the kill there. Both Leos going down, the other one without support, and this starts to become more and more precarious here for Snowwolfie. More Leopards coming up, more Reservists coming up. But as I said, the strong ATGMs that actually have a good line of sight and the good bombing runs are the missing part here to deal with T-72s. Both of them haven't really happened yet, and yeah, the F-16A here pulling in the rear. Next Mac Fusiliers coming in, and little to do here just yet to fix the situation they're in for Snowwolfie. So they maybe kind of have to get ready to fight for keeping those 422 points around for the rest of the game. But against the T-72 deck, it can use the ranges on this map quite nicely. This is not going to be easy. Tiniest Flamethrowers versus Streltsy. Engaging here in the north. Pin down action. And there goes the next unit. Trying to push on their own. Snowwolfie's combined arms starts to really suffer this part of the map as well, whilst the overarching fire and the good positioning of the units here on TiberiusRancor's side is quite solid. I'm surprised Tiberius doesn't play more aggressive. Like, this is one of the most passive games that I have seen out of TiberiusRancor so far. Not really keeping up the pressure on its own right now anywhere, just keep on defending. But that's a decent win condition, I think, with 31st here. Just waiting until you have a death ball of strong T-72s, and if the enemy can't find a cluster bomber run or can't find amazing ATGM shots, they not gonna make it. Mech Rifle Fusiliers pushing forward, or not really having any chance of getting any real damage in. Could maybe be helpful for the artillery though, trying to get onto this T-72 AK OBR 81. Well, it's infantry here in big numbers, tries to fight out, but the tanks on the other side scary for now. Elan 2 does get a decent hit, does get some damage. North, EMP gets shot up a bit as well, but T-72s are around. Mix93 coming in for the drones. The drones a bit overstacked, trying to advance the Mirage A5 rocket. Well, center here continues going on for Tiberius with the +2 southern part. Chelsea very Apio pushing on as well. No real position. Take double Pavir coming in again. Not quite sure what the plan there is. Yes, 19 minutes, but +2 is back online right now. Oops, in the rear. These are pulling out north. The Leopards are here in force, but these leopards gonna be having a tough time pushing to the T72B. It just has a significant amount more armor and comparable firepower. Bit lower rate of fire, but better pent. And we have the Sultan contesting the north now against the T64A BR81 there, holding out. Oh boy. Leopard getting hit again. Next one going down. Absolute disaster here for Snowwolfie. That is not what you want to have happen as the player in blue, as I said from the get-go here. Playing the game a bit slow. Garage 5BA coming around, getting a hit. Mercip goes down again though, once more, not paying off. And yeah, just a bit of a slow play here from Snowwolfie. And now it's less than 200 points difference and less than 100 points for draw territory for Tiberius. And Tiberius keeps the pressure up, 17 minutes to go. And I struggle to see an out here now. For Snowwolfie didn't really get the flanking positions, didn't really get the taxation on to the enemy lines, and the overwhelming force that just can be decently flexible at moving around. So in the end, 31st and Covey here doing a pretty solid job for Tiberius, just controlling the game and playing it surprisingly elegant for TiberiusRancor game. And 109 coming back onto the to this middle point. Will get a kill there, most likely. There we go. So that will get a tick back for a while with the kill on the CV in the north. That might be helpful, as really Snowwolfie needs to create a bigger gap here and just buy a bit more time, buy a bit more space and breathing room before the enemy can just overwhelm them somewhere. Another T64, the C72B, okay, coming in the north. Well, it's 109. Aiming south again. Won't hit anything. Sultan under fire by the Prima. Likely gonna go down. Then the BMP can get the capture there in the middle. Can get the take back for the red side. M109 getting into the middle of nowhere. Igla coming around. Ooh, go till for the Malutka. But the artillery keeps on going. Doesn't find anything there. Mech Rifle Fusiliers. Bit struck against the Streltsy here as well. 113 with Milan. Can't find them. Here comes the BMP-1 leader in the middle. We have a Humvee CP on the way. Will take a while, so both sides get a couple of points here for each other. And the 200 point gap will get a bit smaller again here. And we'll make it annoying amount. E-Man and T72. Okay. Artillery keeps on firing. We'll try to get the B-Man. +2 now for the red side with the full capture of the middle. And +2 is a big issue for Snowwolfie, as we're only a couple of seconds away from the draw territory again, and then only 2-3 minutes away from the forces in red having the big advantage, the major advantage. Here, +1. Fine. Reloading. +1. Keeps on going. There we go. Finally gets a stop on it. Full capture of the middle, but this is such a scary plop. The T-72 numbers here really starting to get out of hand. Gepard pushed back. That 311 statistics falling back from all of this. T-72A OBR trying to get the kill. First shot does miss. There goes Gepard afterwards though. And now there is nothing in front of Delta. And that is a big issue. Tiberius kept the trading up here in the long run. Really one of the more methodical Tiberius games. Snowwolfie has assembled a decent charge here in the south. That could maybe buy them enough time. If they can get a CV in here quick enough. There's no CV on the way. But there is potentially one in the middle here. Humvee CV. So the infantry is in between there. This is relatively scary. Humvee TOW 2 unit gets a hit, but won't get a kill here. And the rocket planes once more not going to do anything. I still believe the rocket planes were a big misinvestment. Units having to get away here from these guys. Chelsea and Superior PO. Advancing to the south as well. BMP1 moves. The Humvee needs to move on the other side. Isn't doing that just yet. Tank push coming in the south. The Malyutka's getting a bit too many free shots here. Yes. Unit spotting the Igla now. Gun pushing on. Double Malyutka fire now. Humvee TOW come in. The Humvee CP needs to move south. Isn't doing that. And gives Tiberius here to take again. Next Humvee TOW gets shut down. Not in position. M109 goes down as well. TV in the north under fire as well. And yeah, not quick enough here with the capture in the southern zone from Snowwolfie. So we are in Toro territory. And the take here will go on for a bit longer for Tiberius. About to win the northern part as well. And they don't need that many points now. Less than 200 points victory here now for Tiberius. Will get close to 150 points or so when this has been captured. But as I said, really close to getting the Sultan in the north. And then there's no way to get back into that point. So yeah, then Snowwolfie would have to maybe go to Echo or so. But they are not really quick enough with the push down south here. And now pushing Leopards into the forest against Streltsies with RPG 7VLs. That's a recipe for disaster. Those 18-pen RPGs start to deal damage real quick to you there. T-72B gets a hit there as well. Yeah, Streltsy with another good hit. There's at least enough firepower here to eventually get some damage done. But most of the forces still die. Not good in the trades here. Mirage goes down as well, and we have another CV actually pushing into the middle for Tiberius as well. So gets the take there. About to fully get it, and Streltsy here up north about to fully capture that zone as well. There goes the shot, there goes the kill, and with that the take will get even faster. And Tiberius here with a really well played counter pick gameplay, and with Snowwolfie like just playing a bit too timid for a division that in this matchup especially just has to go hard or go home. Like, you just can't fight those T-72 hordes once they are online on the field. You need to make it messy. You need to set up pushes where a single TOW 2 hit of a Humvee TOW can maybe just completely deactivate the enemy defense, and that's not what happened. And in the end, Tiberius here with a significant and well-deserved victory in game number 1 against Snowwolfie. So yeah, let's have a look here. Cluster did okay, but the rocket planes not so much. On the other side, T-72s did do a good job. This the Malyutka spam did do a significant amount of damage as well. 72 Ace here. Good damage all around the board. well-deserved victory by TiberiusRancor. And with that, getting a step closer to crawling his way back towards potential playoff games. But he still needs a victory here if he wants to have a chance. And Snowwolfie now fighting hard for survival in Division 1, as the record currently not going so hot. So absolutely needs that next map as well to have a chance of staying in the group stage in Division 1 next season. Whilst getting out of the group stage already starts to look pretty slim. So maybe with some lucky ways and games, others still possible, but it's TiberiusRancor now who still fights for the playoffs and needs the next map. Let's see if they can get it, or Snowwolfie at least can maybe find an interesting 101st gameplay to prevent that. So we go into game number 2 on Mount River. 101st Airborne here for Snowwolfie versus 5th Panzer for Tiberius, one of Tiberius's classic divisions. And it's the most classic Snowwolfie division on the other side. And we already have some interesting stuff here coming up. A lot of helicopters. Gonna be interesting. And if you want to support the prize pool and the whole event yourself, guys, we have claim codes again. So, Matcherino, do your best, guys. Click the claim code button. Sign up with any of these many options. And at 25 cents to the prize pool immediately for free. You don't have to pay anything. I don't have to pay anything. And it will get paid out in real dollaroos to these amazing players here, especially in Division 1, where most of the prize money goes. So, yeah, guys, feel free to help out funding the tournament. Thanks there for Shalbreak here. And thanks to Matcherino again for giving us more codes. And yeah, that's only possible, guys, because you were clicking so actively with the first couple of them. And also because you guys also were really generous with money donations as well. So Matcherino recognizes that this is a community that is worth supporting further. And yep, link in the chat right now on YouTube as well. So down in the description as well. If you want to support the tournament, that's the easiest way. And if you want to support me, follow, leave a like, and if you want to support me extra, leave a subscription on Twitch or a channel membership on YouTube. Those go a long way, allowing me to find the time next to my job and reducing a bit my work hours at my main job as well, so that I have more time for organizing tournaments, for casting the tournaments, and doing all the other content for WARNO as well. So thanks to all of you there who invest into me and my time for creating WARNO content. And thanks to all of you for watching. Let's have a look here into the action. So helicopters gonna be key. On the other side, we have double Gepard. And yeah, if not great against aircraft, but against helicopters, I feel like it is a pretty good division. Even the manpads, even the German manpads are pretty decent against helicopters, but a lot of forward deployment here from TiberiusRancor without any AA immediately around. So the Luxus get overrun quite easily. Apache will find the next one there as well. The Zwilling here might be in trouble, immediately gets stunned down. The Gepards will arrive soon though. And the little birds aren't gonna get shut up. Dab in the north in trouble as well. Good hits there from both sides. F4F pushed back. Eagle as well. And Apache can find another shot here. Doesn't find a hit against the Martyr. Needs to disengage immediately now. Or land. Find either way. As the quick fix here is in trouble as well. Isn't currently getting shot at. Apache tries to disengage now. Flying away as the Gepards push through the smoke. And it tries to get further away. Gets stunned down. I think it should have run further. Yeah, Gepards can push it now. Gepards still get shot out. If that Apache goes down, this is a disaster. The OHs should fly back as well. I'm no idea why Snowwolfie didn't react faster there. Why are the helicopters still here, Snowwolfie? Oh my goodness. You can't allow to lose the OHs. Those OHs are key to protect your other helicopters. And yeah, this is a bit of a disaster here. Like, the opening kills, losing the little birds was fine. They traded up. Losing the Dab against the Zwilling in the north. Nearly losing the Apache and losing 2 of the OHs. That's not fine at all. Those are your support units. And if you want to play like this, you have to protect them better. And yeah, helicopters are all about micro. Like, they aren't cost efficient in a frontal fight. They have good killing power. They can overwhelm specific spots on the map. But if you don't invest the time into microing and moving them at the right moment, then you're gonna get punished, and OHs, they're just gonna get slaughtered. You gotta play a lot with them moving up and down. Maybe having the Apache landed and shooting missiles against the Gepards while it's being landed, stuff like that. And yeah, no CV on the side of Snowwolfie so far, so Tiberius gets a +3 currently kind of for free. And now the 5th Panzer can get the mechanized warfare on, while Snowwolfie sends up more helicopters. But against Zwilling and Gepards, gonna be tough. Didn't kill even the first Gepard here. And doesn't really have anything on the front line on the ground to assist this kind of gameplay either. Like, usually you see this combined with at least Humvee tows or one M1 IP, so that the enemy has to be careful with how far they move their Gepards, has maybe get shot on the ground there, but the Martyrs have to be careful if they push on to try to kill the Humvee tows. They might get shot by the Apache and so on, like this back and forth, but currently it's only helicopters, and that means you only need to focus on one thing, and you only need to micro against one thing here as TiberiusRancor. Still loses 1 unit here against the Apache, but Little Birds and Dab coming in the north with a Gepard and a Zwilling. I think that should already be enough. Another Gepard coming up here. And I'm somewhat worried here for Snowwolfie's pushes and the chances of getting this game under control. Humvee Delta, like, it's only a bit of recon infantry and a couple of helicopters. Looks here. Gonna get shot up, but Zwillinge will deal with the little birds as well. Hitting the Leopard 1 leader there. Not really worthwhile. Little bird's just gonna get gunned down. Apache trying to rotate a bit, but as I said, like a Humvee tow or so on the ground would be kind of essential right now to try to have even a chance of killing the Gepards, because your Apache just can't do it. Apache has lower range than the Gepards, and the Gepards will stun you down, potentially even before your unit get the hit. Okay, this time around the Apache, yeah, gets one Hellfire on target, but dies before second one. Double Gepard, just too good. And fifth does even have the roll on 3s, which are pretty good, anti-helicopters as well. League of House, as I said, quite cost efficient as anti-helicopters. Like, trying to heli spam 5th Panzer is just a wild choice. And I feel like you don't need to play 101st like this anymore. Like, 101st is a pretty flexible division. The M1 IPs are a bit more cost efficient, the Deltas are more cost efficient, and the whole playstyle here of Snowwolfie just kind of falling flat, next Apache being brought in, but it's really easy currently to counter all of this. Double F-15s here, not really the way either. Yeah, gets shut down. You can't really air spam with the 101st, and as 101st does not have any good bombers. It's all in the helicopters when it comes to flying firepower. And Special Forces Infantry, you have the M1 IP, Humvee tows that could endanger the enemy martyrs because they outrange them, and that can also one-shot layer 1s that can kill off the Gepards. Like, stuff like this is what you want to use when you play 101st, and Snowwolfie tries to play it all around helicopters, but then doesn't even have the best helicopter micro here. Like, for someone that plays this much 101st, I feel like this is just a really poor choice in strategy here, and it's currently not working. And the snowball is closing in on just being completely unsolvable and unbreakable, as this map is a map where snowballs can run out of control of mechanized forces especially, and just can become unstoppable for the lighter divisions. And this is seemingly what's happening here right now, as all the helicopters are down, Apache is down again, and there we have it. GG is called. And with that, TiberiusRancor gets the 2-0 victory here. Pretty clean fashion, and a deserved victory here for TiberiusRancor. Snowwolfie just... I like Snowwolfie strategies. I like Snowwolfie being always not completely out there, but always trying to be one step out of the box, whilst having signature divisions like 101st as well. But trying to helo spam with Panzer, yeah, that just doesn't work on paper. And if you then also execute it so badly, and for Division 1 this was bad execution, where you have a lot of units not even moving away from Gepards and just getting gunned down. Like, helicopters are faster than all the ground units. You are not supposed to just get shot at by them. And like, if you fly into them because of their momentum and the time the time it takes to change direction, you often can get gunned down. But the AA units shouldn't just be able to roll up to you and shoot you down. And that happened here a couple of times in the opener, just completely dismantling the combined arms of Snowwolfie and forcing him to buy another F-15 because he didn't have enough flying AA around anymore and stuff like this. And making it just easy for Tiberius, playing a playstyle that Tiberius loves to play. Like, this was the pound for pound playstyle with Tiberius just shredding better that Tiberius loves and is known for. The looks opener was pretty suicidal from Tiberius on the other hand. And yeah, if Snowwolfie would have had a bit more consistent combined arms, I think this could have worked, but in general, just not the greatest show of our play in blue there, and TiberiusRancor doing really classic TiberiusRancor games, and might crawl himself once more out of the group stage. And we'll see how this goes, as we now move on to another group, and another one of my favorites. We're gonna go on Div, the game between Mix90 and Bloodyknight. And it's gonna be interesting to see how Bloodyknight will fare against one of the best players in Division 1, and if Mix90 can keep up the series of wins, or if Bloodyknight in his first season in Division 1 can maybe throw something there into the way and stop the run of Mix90. Quick break, and then we're gonna be back with game number 2. Second series of the day, and we have quite the match at hand with Mix90 and Bloodyknight here, with Panzer once more. So gonna be able to interested to see if Bloodyknight can follow up TiberiusRancor. And then on the right side, Mix90 with an interesting pick. Mix90 planning on playing interesting division this season, and this is one for sure. 6 Leger Blindé, especially for the map. I like 6 Leger quite a bit. I don't think it's an amazing division right now. And on a map that is so narrow and that allows so little room for your AMX 10s to work, you really need to get the momentum going on early, I think. Second game, we're actually not going to see a new division from Mix90, but one of his all-time favorites. 24th Infantry Division on map number 2 against 4th Division. Bloodyknight, like a lot of his friends and a lot of the other Ukrainian players, player that likes the classic mechanized divisions, especially the classic NATO mechanized divisions, 5th Panzer, 4th Division here coming up. Stuff like 1st UK and so on, pretty popular with a lot of the players from that community as well. Whilst we have here 1st Ankova, 19th and 20th Panzerna band, pretty standard bands currently. And on the other side, Div1, Mnet, and 56. So bit of the weirder divisions here, but Mnet especially, a division that Mix90 has played a lot and has a lot of wins with, and Div1, division that is still pretty scary. We haven't seen all that much of it, but what we have seen, it is still a pretty capable division. It's stoppable now. It's not completely busted anymore, but it's still quite scary. And on the other side, yeah, here now we have P4 Milans and a lot of light AMXs here. 3 Recon AMXs coming out from the get-go, with the Legion ones that get Resolute and free Veterancy. Well, 5 points for the combo of Resolute and Veterancy. So not quite free, but yeah, on the other side, we have a Leo 2A4C from the get-go, and that is not killable with AMXs, realistically, when you get the frontal hits. You can be scary if you get side shots with the AMXs, and your Mephistos and other ATGMs can be scary for the Leopard as well. But the Leopard 2s, when they get up in too high of numbers, especially because they have the chance of one-shotting the MX-10s, like the 3 frontal armor will get one-shotted by the 21 pen. So the Leo 2s, if they get too high in numbers, Mix90 is kind of done for. So Mix90's game plan here has to be to keep on trading, keep on being weird, and keep on trying to dismantle the combined arms of 5th Panzer that is maybe a bit more expensive, though the one of 6 is actually not that cheap, it's just more flexible. And keep on the pressure that way. We have an AMX-10 here in the south now as well, so 4 AMX-10s, good couple of ATGM units, including P4 Milans with Milan 2s, and a Mephisto here with the strong Hot 2 longer range and better accuracy ATGMs. And infantry-wise, not all that much. As per usual with Mix90, we see 7mm MGs. On the other side, we see some of those MG3 form as well. Jäger Aufklärers and Fernspeers. Jäger Aufklärers, a bit annoying for the AMXs as well, because they don't have the highest HE output. Only 105mm gun and no heavy MG, so you will take a while to kill those with these kind of units as well. And the other recon or special forces units like the Crab will get bogged down by the Jäger Aufklärers a bit too, so units like the Leopard 1A5 and the Leo 2A4 can get into position. MX-10s here moving around. The center gets given away. That was to be expected. Question is, can Mix90 maybe set up pressure in the north as well, or at least hold on to his point to get a solid +2 online? But I feel like you want more than a +2 on this map with the 6 Leger Blindé. You want to win in the first 20 minutes. And for that, you need to do a bit more. Jäger Aufklärers in the north getting caught. That's a nice start. NF Legion here getting attacked. Mephisto trying to get the Unimog, but there goes the Jäger Aufklärer. That starts to be annoying. Thirst pushing forward. Crab versus Fanspeer. Special forces with 4 deployment here being pretty scary. Sniper rifle and an MG, so they set up good pressure, and now the Fanspeer outside of buildings start to take some damage. There comes the Leo 2A4 though, and immediately gets a kill. Good accuracy on this tank as well, 70% accuracy, so the MXs here are in trouble. And yeah, 2 of them immediately down, and that's what I'm talking about. This is so scary. 4-6 Leger on this map. Gets the Fanspeers, gets the push into the zone. That might unlock the +4 here long term, but no second CV on the battlefield just yet, so for now it's only a +1. Yes, the southern zone has been captured only by the blue team so far, and the central zone hasn't been captured yet. The P4 PC now rotating center. P4 PC coming in for Lima as well, and Mix90 needs to get this pick online as quick as possible to really keep up the pressure onto the enemy. More MXs coming around. Pisto coming up as well. We see the first of the high quality AMX-10 RC Legions with 4 frontal armor, still doesn't really protect you from one-shotting, getting one-shotted by the Leo 2A4C, but gives you 19 pen so that you at least can start dealing some damage to some units. And then we have the Orchidea here as well. Pretty cost-efficient recon helicopter, but the Rolands with their 6 damage actually one-shot them, so good counter unit there. Good enough accuracy that the bit of his PM there doesn't help out on the other side either, and point gets captured back, and that stops the tick. Or, yeah, they'll even get a tick here for a second. The Lima is captured for Bloodyknight, and now Mix90 has to get around once more. Leo 2A4 rotated around a bit. Legion gets hit immediately by the Leopard 1A5. Good accuracy on this as well. Good accuracy tanks. Pretty annoying here. We have the autoloader artillery immediately coming onto the battlefield, trying to hit the Roland. MX-10 RC trying to sneak on, but the Fuchs Razid really good maneuvering with that from Bloodyknight, so that you don't get ambushed. Good choice, and yeah, 6 the Zeppelin Day. Weird choice for this map. Somewhat weird choice for this map, and so far Mix90 not really getting the traits they want to, and not really getting the pressure on. And currently it's going well for Bloodyknight, getting the combined arms further up, able to get the next Leo 2 onto the battlefield. And I think once we hit 3 or 4 consistent Leo 2s on the front line, this game is all but over. So Mix90 needs to start getting some kills here. Otherwise this game will become quite painful, quite fast. You have some planes with 6 that you could potentially use, but not if the Roland 3s are around. And 2 of them on the front line already. A good couple of martyrs here, gonna make the life harder as well. They one-shot the enemy with the Milan 1-2. So, yeah, good counter pick there with 5th Panzer in general, I would say as well. 6 Leger was picked first. EAB Legion sitting back in the rear. Leo 2A4C slowly moving towards the front line. Whilst the autoloader artillery tries to find a Roland again. Isn't doing that just yet. Good smoke here from Bloodyknight. Not getting hit by the Milan 2. Let's the Milan Legion trying to get a hit here from the south. Not landing the shot just yet. Well, landing around the target before shot coming out. 2 more 5mm artillery coming up as well, so the combined arms getting really unlocked for Bloodyknight. Next Leo 2A3, that's the 3rd one. If that arrives on the front line whilst the other 2 are still alive, this game is going to become insanely hard, and the Leo 2A4 finds the next kill. Martyr 1A2s surviving a Milan 1 from the other side. And there are few anti-tank units here that actually can get the kills here. Mephisto trying to rotate around as well. No push power towards the south. And 5th Panzer starting to get more and more combined arms here onto the battlefield. Mephisto trying to engage, but good movement here. CV moving forward to stop the take. Will be nice as well. Mephisto try to get the hit there. Will find it, but the unit did enter the zone. So only a +1 now for Mix90. That's not a lot. That won't even win him the game in 40 minutes. Via points. More needed. Good artillery hits on the Leo 2A4. Gets stunned down. Big landing shots there. Might deal some more damage. Double Mephisto. Pretty scary as well. Leopard getting hit once more. Is that the first kill? That is the first kill. More needed like that. Milans now. The other Mephistos are scary. Other Milans. Not even spotting them right now. Panzer Grenadiers here though. They do. And that's a nice unit to push with here. VAB Milan Legion with the 50 cal trying to push them back, but they are on the hunt for the next unit already. And the VAB is not that cheap. Really good anti-tank rocket missiles on these units, but they are vulnerable to enemy forces. 155mm pushing up. AMXs engaging the enemy in the north, but as I said, HE output against infantry relatively mediocre. You at least have a relatively good rate of fire, and the double MG is okay firepower if the enemy ever gets into the range, but nothing super spectacular. Well, it's pulling in here. Keep on engaging. 7mm MG fire now as well. The middle actually cleaned out. Have more Mephistos coming around. VAB Spahis and some more AMX-10s. We have more Leo 2A4s pushing. ATGMs flying around. Hooks Razit, really well used, but the Gazelle Hots find the next Leo 2. Okay, okay. Important resets here for Mix90. Leo 2 number down to 1 on the front line, 1 coming in. And not 4 on the front line. 2 Leo 2 kills. Turning this decently quickly around. Frontline situation has improved. Still has the +2. Has to be worried a bit about the center though. Dillinger pushing slowly forwards. Nothing there that can deal with them. We have an AMX-10 Legion coming around for the center. Before out of ammo. Mephisto nearly out of ammo. Leopard rotating around. Next Mephisto has come around towards the center as well. Martyrs with constant firepower here. Double Leo 1-2 and 1 Leo 1 setting around. More Martyrs coming in too. The artillery is pretty key, but good artillery here now from the other side as well. Going back to P4 and moving up. Flares moving up as well. Filling up. Under fire. Good kill. Go to A3. Having to disengage again. Jäger Aufklärers here. Pushing forward. Spies on the other side though. Coming up as well. They have a sniper rifle. So they are the better recon infantry. 1 less hit point. But pretty capable infantry there. Infantry AT there too. He's still not finding the shot there. Building and moving up. A lot of MG firepower there now. Enabled by Mix90 has good fire support here against the others. MX-10 can't keep up the fire. Has to be a bit careful. But killing off the Zwillinger could be key. +2 does continue. At least 600 point lead by now. 12 minutes in. You want a bit more, but better than nothing. Leopard 2A3 here, starting to take damage. You don't want to get side-shotted there. Ooh, lucky there. No final hit. And Jägerführungs coming up, getting into the zone. Good movement there by Bloodyknight. Wants to stop the take. That was a close one. And we start to see more Leopards coming in. Next Leo 2A3 and a lot of Martyrs. A lot of Zwillinge. I like that composition of Bloodyknight. And I think Bloodyknight is still in a pretty good spot here right now. They took some casualties, Mix90 forcing some mistakes there. But important kill there against the MX. And killing power against the heavy tanks is pretty limited. There is no big AMX-10 plop. AMX-10s got popped quite quickly in succession. And there are still a good amount of Layer 2s right on the front line. More coming in. The rest of the combined arms is standing nicely as well with decent amount of recon, decent amount of infantry, decent amount of AA. And they had a narrow front line of Mount River as making it easier to get that online. And that's why I was a bit confused about the 6 Leger play here on this map, as you usually don't want to play against good combined arms with that division. You usually want to have some weaknesses on the other side that you can exploit. Like either the enemy only has like one ATGM holding a whole flank that you then can destroy with your rapid fire 155mm, or they only have IFVs that your MX10s get shut down before the ATGMs land on you, or they only have one tank that can be flanked and stuff like this. And on this map, chances are you fight against a full-on combined arms, and you don't really have the space and the room to outmaneuver and outrace the enemy. And that makes it pretty tough for 6 Leger. And yeah, the kills on the Leo 2s, the point lead here, still allow for a potential game win here for Mix90, but it's not going to be easy. Needs some really successful hits with artilleries and fantastic play around the ATGM and the slow defense against the enemy. Because I have a hard time seeing how 6 Leger at this stage can get back into the driver's seat. Getting a couple more points etched out of this, maybe getting killed here against the Jägerführer and getting the full point back would be nice. Zwillingsführung, the fire. Kuma Orchidee coming around again. Legionnaire Apilas pushing forward. Legionnaire Supers. Will kill off the Panzer Grenadiers. Jägers on the fire. Leo 2 moving around. Slow take here, getting some more points on the board. That is all nice. That's 155mm. Now aiming towards the south here. More kills. Tower. There we go. It's landing. Good kills. There's the purse. Fire. Have to push back. Gazelle Hots. Salsatrix. Fire in the rear. CV went down for Mix90. GMXs have to be careful. Legion gets shot up. Leopard 1 on the other side has to be careful as well, but does get to disengage there. Milan 1 martyrs all around. One more martyr getting shot up, and the mechanized forces here getting more and more onto the board. Push towards the middle now too. Filling shut down, but Panzer Grenadiers is about to push in here, so the AMX can't really push forward. Will get shot up by the Panzerfaust most likely. Does that. VAB Spies had to be careful. The VAB Mephisto's still doing a good job. Doing decent damage, but no capture there in the north. MX10 engaging. There is a new Leo. You can use cluster bombers potentially to kill one that is a bit away from the Rolands. But for that you first would have to recognize that it is away. And we have now 4 Leo 2s on the front line and 5th one on the way. And this is exactly what I was worried about for Mix90. As Bloodyknight really did a decent job getting that combined arms up and never overextending. There's a couple of situations where they got forced into a bit too much micro all over the place, so a couple of units got get killed, but in general they keep the cohesion, they keep the build up, and even if they trade equally, whilst they can get better combined arms, that is a good setup for the long game. Panzer Grenadiers here not getting a hit on the AMX-10, that is unfortunate. Gets gunned down. Leo 2 has to be a bit careful there as well. Gonna push back into the center. Maybe not gonna happen yet, but with the north captured, with the tick stop, that is all fine. That is all something that you can deal with later. And still 21 minutes, so time is still there for Bloodyknight. No need to hurry yet. rushing things could be a way to lose this though. Like if you start rushing Leo 2s in and start using them needlessly, this could still be a way for Mix90, and Mix90 is still trying to play for advantages, still trying to find some shots, find some kills, but so far not really finding them. Artillery kills the Mephistos on the other side. Good hits there. Artillery flying around. Panzer Mercer hitting around as well. VAB Spice going down in the open water. That's MX10 RC Legion slowly moving up once more. Get some more shots out. Right here. Fire. Does go down there, artillery. Preemptively striking into the building there, not really achieving anything, and ooh. Yeah, Leo 283 now coming around. You have to be careful here as the MX10 shooting up an MG3. That's not really of any importance. That's going to is in the middle, getting shot up. Like killing off some infantry here for Mix90 can be nice, but not the key part. Ooh, killing off a Leo 283 that maybe overextends a bit, that could be nice, but that doesn't happen. Engagement against Panzer Grenadiers instead. Leo 283 getting hit quite nicely by the artillery. Pistos and Baby Milan has to be careful. For Milan, not finding a hit there. Smoke stops that. They have the next 155mm artillery piece. No AA though. Oh, the BO-105s could be key. And a lot of cheap replaceable infantry moving around, so that the MX-10s, even if they land some shots, those are not the most key hits against the infantry units. 155mm artillery moving around. MX-10 immediately needs to smoke off here. BO-105 can move around. There is no Celtic around here anymore. There is no ground-based AA. But 20mm are getting moved around. Okay, that's quite important. BO-105 repositioning in the middle. MX-10s rotating around. 155mm rotating around. More units towards the north. Trying to at least get back into the zone for a while. Trying to at least have a bit of pressure there, but you can't move anywhere where the Armadas and the Leo 2s can't look at you. Maybe killing them off with artillery. Everything else, not really doing it. One of the 155mm is empty right now. That's not great either. Well, units now pushing towards the Panzer Grenadiers again. And has to be careful. 20mm AA piece has to be careful. BO-105 starting to find some shot. Country here likely gonna find some value. Gazelle can be nice. Panzer Grenadiers is gonna go down. MX finds some shots now as well. Actually not against any vehicles though. Get a there. He has to be careful. Doesn't have smoke anymore and will go down. Ooh, gets a hit against the Leo 284. That would be a good find. Smokes off too late. Okay, that's a good trade. Annoying to lose your flanking AMX-10, but getting a Leo 284C, that's key. That's a unit that can't be easily replaced on the other side. Well, artillery still firing across the board. Legion Milan 2 here. Find some hit against the Leo 283s. Next 20mm. Moving around. ATGM against the Martyr. Doesn't find a hit. Still hot. Does miss as well. There is supply behind this. You can resupply. Important capture of this area by Bloodyknight though. Well, north Legionnaires started moving in a bit again. But getting into this zone, not gonna be easy. Panzer Grenadiers on the other side, moving up again. Possible right now, but not easy. Milan 2 here has to find some interesting spots as well. We have a couple of MGs behind all of this. Leo 2 gets pushed back, artillery not really active. We have rates here in the center. 7.6mm moving around. 25 minutes. 700 point lead still for Mix90. Important. Bloodyknight will need to start to get some pick online here in the next 5-6 minutes. So needs to get some push here towards the center now, really going. Has 3 Leo 2s up for it now. Has a leader coming up. Has some Gepards coming up so that annoying Gazelle Hots can't do anything about this anymore. And this looks still decently promising for our player in blue. Leopard pushed back. HGM number here on the other side. Not that oppressive right now. Legionnaires have decent AT weapons, but no Oculus on these guys in the center here right now. BABs 50-50 cults, lighting up some Panzer Grenadiers. That's going to be a bit annoying. But the MX-10s in the north on the fire. Literally goes both ways. Panzer Grenadier still alive. X10 RC Legion stunned down. Has to disengage. Rocket plane coming along. Finding decent hit. Second F4 rocket actually finding the kill. We have more MX-10s, more Gazelle Hots here in the middle. Jägerführungs on the way. There is a P4PC on the other side to at least stop the full capture. Legionnaires going into the infight here as well. Trying to find the Jägerführungs there in the direct fight in the smoke. BAB Legion getting some nice shots out there as well. Good stun down there. BAB moving up a bit too far. And smoke actually clears up here. No ATGMs around anymore. The big tank plop moving up. No AMX-10s here from the side that maybe could find a kill or two. Like if you could get the Gepard kills, that obviously would be big, but yeah, Legionnaires Suppers and Legionnaires here now only engaging and Jägerführungs, but not really finding any kill. Another smoke actually might help out the Legionnaire Suppers there. Will get the kill. Bahis finding a good hit against some Leo 2s. Ooh, AMX-10 with the side shot. Leo 2 goes down. Rocket plane is annoying. No real AA there around against those units. Plus, the center gets captured. +2 stopped. Mephisto in a good spot. Ooh, MX-10 recon with a good hit. Gets hit as well. And the rocket plane finishes it off. Yeah, the rocket plane's doing a really solid job here now for Bloodyknight with the Sunnis. And there is nothing really around to stop them. No manpads, no planes. So they can come around quickly again. They have a really short reload time of 30 seconds. And that's the big problem here now for Mix90. 12 minutes still remaining. And the blue force in front of his center has increased by a lot. Maybe can get back a bit into the north, but there are 2 Leo 2s there as well. And the trade situation not really improving. Rotel coming around. Grenadier Voltage Apilas potentially in danger. Trying to find some more space. There are still Leos in the middle, including a Leo 2A4. Plenty of Flump coming up. More infantry just coming up. The HGM units on the other side can't really shoot up infantry, and this starts to become a problem here for our player in red. Knight needs to try to get a take online. VAB, MX-10, RC, CV, and CV here going down. Or See there going down. Kind of moving around. In the amount of AMX-10s really low across the map. Ooh, even counter battery now starting to hit. Getting a kill on the artillery piece there. Milan 2 trying to get involved. Gets shot by the Leo 2A3. Gets a good hit there. Needs another one. Good reaction there with Bloodyknight though. That's likely not gonna hit. Yeah. Water fire coming along against the Jägerführungs. Legionnaires trying to move up. BAB getting involved, but on the other side there's a Leo 1A5 here as well. No CV for the north. Only now an MX-10 rotates around. Leo 2A3 coming up. Bloodyknight still needs to get a CV into the middle. Leo 2A3 coming around as well. There is a bug with the replays that doesn't allow the kill feeds to work in the replays at the moment. Yeah, Legion is working on it. Next patch that should be fixed. BAB Legion gets gunned down. On the side here gets gunned down as well. Legionnaires and the Voltige Apilas under attack. Leo 1A5 moving forward as well. Efforts will clean up the Legionnaires here. Leo 2A3 gets a kill into the recon. Good hit there. Rocket plane coming along again. Nice shot down there. Crotel not able to get the FOF. Rocket planes there. Keep on the pressure. No CV just yet arrived in the north. Well, we have double CV here this time around from Bloodyknight. Doesn't want to risk it. And there's about to be no units here left for Mix90 in the center. Nothing really left in the south, so yeah, it seems like Bloodyknight is going to be the first player that gets a map win here against Mix90 this season. And there are 2A3s moving towards the center now. Outs look pretty damn good for our player in blue. One zone in the north starts to get contested by Mix90 again, but the whole of the center zone will get captured by Bloodyknight, and as I said, Bloodyknight could go easily towards Lima. Still has a decent amount of forces left here to make the line in the north annoying so that the second zone shouldn't fall. More reinforcements there coming in as well. Next Leo 2A3 leader coming up. Martyrs and Panzergrenadiers maybe could figure out what's going on here in the south, that there's nothing left. Grotels go down as well, so Combined Arms does fall further apart. Well, it's Mephisto moving around. Gets shot up. Gets killed. Milan 2's BAB Milan's there. Moving around. No hit there. Rocket plane above everything. Any kills. Literally trying to fight, shoot the MX-10 RC on the other side. Legionnaires moving forward, trying to find a kill. And their flamethrowers will overwhelm them. Yeah, +3 here now. Going on. TV gets shot up by the Leo 2A3. So the full zone will fall back to the blue side. Will be a +4 here, and job well done for Bloodyknight. Really well executed 5th Panzer, and yeah, once more have to question the 6th the hit pick here out of Mix90. I think Mix90 played it decently well, but the double kill of the Leo 2A4, like the Leo 2A4 really well positioned there by Bloodyknight. Getting the double kill against the recon in the first 3 minutes there of the game. Breaking the chance of snowballing the AMX-10s so that they could just run around gunning down things. With killing the 2 recons there. That was key. The losses of Leo 2's pretty low as well. They were a couple, but not early enough and not in high enough numbers in succession that Mix90 could ever exploit it. And a really, really smooth mechanized play here out of Bloodyknight. kind of them moving forward. Legionnaire Suppers on their attack, and yep, Bloodyknight never really overextending, knowing that their combined arms would prevail in the long run. They just needed enough Leo 2s, and they got there, and they now just smack Mix90 here. Jaguar Seed trying to come around. Whilst we have more Gepards coming around from the other side. There, Clear spotting around in the south. And the north about to go down. Yeah, Wheeler there on the fire, +4 does continue. 160 points per minute here right now, so a minute away from equal points, 2 minutes away from victory, still 6 minutes remaining. That might look somewhat close, but it never was. Bloodyknight did know when to push and did push in time, and by now has complete control of the field. Like, there's nothing that Mix90 has to that can actually do any maneuvering anymore. He only has a couple remaining units on the battlefield that need cleaning up. But as I said, Bloodyknight could just A-click at this point once more, something that you just don't do because you don't want to risk anything. And you already know that you're on the path to victory, but they could just A-click towards the rear point zone, they could just A-click towards Lima, and maybe even still end up with 2,000 points in time, getting the +10 on the whole map. And yeah, on the other side, Seed Plane comes around again. That doesn't really matter, and I think Mix90 knows that as well. Seed Plane here falling back. Point lead nearly reached here for Bloodyknight. And there we go. Points are ahead of Mix90. He's trying to come around, but there's just too much here. Yeah, 6 Leger. The division that I would never first pick. I believe it has some nice matchups. It has some fine maps as well. But this is neither division that you want to first pick, because counterpicking it with a mid-tier division works pretty well. And also, it's not a division that I would pick on Mount River, for the reasons I explained earlier. So, yeah, Gepard gets shut down here. +4 does continue. More than 100 points now for Bloodyknight. And there we go. GG is called. And Mix90 will lose the first map this season. And Bloodyknight, one step closer to the playoffs. Important points here. Big points for Bloodyknight. Points that Scuff didn't get. That Bottom Feeder didn't get. So, heading into a nice advantage here. Scuff beating Pro Commie. So, there is an opening for the second place there, with Pro Commie leaving points, with Scuff leaving points. And Bloodyknight is a decent step in that direction. Draw against Mix90 would be nice. Win would be even better. And it's gonna be interesting to see what we get in game number 2. Nice matchup there as well. 4th Division versus the 24th on Chandra. So pretty classic standard matchup of 2 mechanized divisions. 24th division that we haven't seen so much lately, but it got buffed quite a bit over the last couple of patch cycles. So it's gonna be interesting to see how good it is now again, with better M1 IPs or cheaper M1 IPs and so on. And Chandra, a map that allows for good fight between these 2 divisions, I think, as well. So quick break, guys, and then we're gonna be back with the second game of the series between Mix90 and Bloodyknight. here we go into game number 2. Bloodyknight up 1-0. And Mix90 now with one of his favorite divisions, but Bloodyknight with a classic of his as well. 4th division here, division that was really performing last season fantastically. That got nerfed slightly, but still a really big powerhouse, still rated as one of the top divisions. While it's 24th has been out of the picture for a while, but M1 IP buffs, a couple of other small buffs over the time helped out this division a bit as well. The National Guard changes obviously at the beginning of the year and so on. So gonna be interesting to see how that one plays out. Has a bit of an opener problem, similar to other US divisions. It's struggling with relatively weak combat units in its recon department, and that is luckily not the biggest issue on Chandra, because Chandra is a map that is not split in the middle, no center zones that are right there, so both sides get their +4 zones here relatively easily and relatively safely at the beginning if they split up nicely, and then the enemy has to push into you somewhere. We will have a layer 2A4B here from the get-go as well, and if you want to support this channel, guys, and if you want to support the whole shenanigans again, you can do so via Mix90, and we have the claim code buttons again, guys. So you can do so without paying anything and add 25 cents to the prize pool for free again. And even if you did it with the first claim code button, you can do it now again. The codes are open again for everybody. So yeah, thanks for everybody who did it the first time around. And thanks for everybody who already did it the second time around now as well. And if you want to support it further and get us maybe a step closer to the $1,000 prize pool, that would be the biggest WARNO prize pool yet, and the biggest STL prize pool as well. Yep, feel free to click the contribute button and contribute directly. And if you want to support the channel, leave a like, especially on YouTube. That helps a lot as well. Follow and yeah, subscription and channel memberships go a long way. Are worth a lot of views and enable me to do more of this, guys, each month, and bring a bit more of my schedule for doing WARNO content and improving that WARNO content as well, getting a bit more time invested into Photoshop and DaVinci Resolve and so on, so that I get better at making videos for you guys. So yeah, thanks for all of you who helped me out doing all of this, and yeah, really excited for this game number 2, Bloodyknight, with a pretty clean show in game number 1. Interested to see what Mix90 can bring around with one of his all-time classics. And I always like Chandra. I think Chandra is what Afro tried to be. Like, it's a pretty straightforward map that everybody understands, that at the same time is balanced and has enough room for maneuver warfare. And whilst we still haven't seen anything completely out of the ordinary. Like, roads like this on Death Row, for example, would make Death Row a good bit more interesting as well. And yeah, just a bit wider space makes it a lot more fun to play as well. So let's see what we can get out of the two players here now. And I'm really excited for this game number 2. 2A4 here, moving up towards the front line. The other side, no tanks, but a good amount of the National Guard Bradleys. National Guard Bradleys have only the ITO and have a bit lower accuracy, obviously, on it thanks to the Reservist trait as well. But since the Reservist rework, I think the National Guard units are on a pretty good spot again. An issue with 24th is that the Strike Eagle isn't as overwhelming anymore, since stress on miss and since the nerfs of LGBs with the reload time in general, and that their M1s aren't amazing. The M1 National Guards are okay nowadays as well after price changes and the Reservist rework, and the M1 IP is okay since the latest price change as well when it comes to cost efficiency, but still both not great. So, and as I said, the opener often a bit of a problem as well, but actually going decently well here, though the Hawk struggling to get a kill onto the... What the hell? How did this Stinger team not die? But yeah, Sniper is going actually surprisingly deep. The Cheetahs getting the kill there in the north. And how did that Stinger team not die? That is pretty impressive. I mean, they got a lot of stress damage there, so reduced the accuracy on the other side. And I guess they just got pretty lucky there. Sniper's now in a bit of trouble as well. With a lot of units pushing towards them, and Mix90 has to be careful to not overextend here. Bradley moving around. OH shoots down the recon helicopter in the south. Bradley getting the Panzer infantry. 7mm MG here around. Not CV. On the left, on the right side for Mix90 could move on, capturing more points here now. On the other side, we have a YPR CV that stopped moving because it didn't want to get killed here. Moving through. YPR moving around. Bradley has to be careful to not get shut down by that. The other Bradley is arriving here as well. Oh, Leo 284, yeah. It's an easy kill there. I don't think Mix90 actually want to stay here. Yeah, rotating around towards the forest here, like playing it out from there. Could be nice. Ooh, but Leo 284 actually spots the next enemy here with the Bradleys. And gets the next kill, smokes off immediately after. Sniper gonna go down here soon as well. Mat CP should get the capture north instead of moving towards Bravo here. I don't think it has a chance of getting into Bravo. Mix90 should really focus on getting their rear zones here with this instead. Yeah, doing that now. Right decision. So far, Bloodyknight with another solid opener here. Whilst Mix90 trading units for space here. Trading units for initiative, but you have to be careful, obviously, as if you start losing too many units, you lose the initiative with that as well, even if you have a bit more space on the battlefield. So, yeah. I'm at 50 here, moving up. IPR, moving around. Leopard 2A4, heading around behind this. Bradley tries to hit the Cheetah. Cheetah best anti-helicopter packs in the game, thanks to their extra accuracy over normal Gepards. Normal Gepards already great. Cheetah just fantastic. And pretty good against planes as well. You can get them upvetted, they just go completely insane. Next miss by the Bradley. Fortunate times for the Cheetah. 150 here in a nice spot as well. Interesting to see. National Guards without veterancy, so these will have amazing availability. A lot of IFVs can come around here for Mix90 with these National Guards. And having AGMs on your Bradleys is a massive advantage over the Dutch on the other side. The Dutch have IFVs as well with the YPRs, which are just kind of upgraded shitboxes with a autocannon on top. That's why they have low armor. And the big part is they don't have ATGMs. They have a good autocannon. 25mm Oerlikon is great, but the ATGM is missing on all of them. That is going to make it easier to hold open fields for Mix90. And Leopard 2s on the other side are also pretty vulnerable to side shots, so that is something that you can exploit as well. But your M1 IPs can take a couple of shots from Leo 2s as well, so once you can level up your combined arms into a couple of M1 IPs with a lot of Bradleys around, I think your position here as 24th is going to be pretty good. Ooh, F5 has to be careful. Gets hit once. The Bradleys all down here in the south. The infantry falling back as well. National Guards without veterancy get stressed out quite quickly and stay stressed quite long as well right after. But Mix90 here using the slightly cheaper combined arms that they started with to get the advantage around Charlie, bringing all the forces of Bloodyknight towards Bravo and then rotating around with a cheap but effective push towards Charlie, where combined arms of Bloodyknight just wasn't around to do anything about. So that they get a +1 once they capture the north, get the +2. Will with that get 80 points per minute and likely get ahead on points here before anything can be done over the Charlie point by Bloodyknight. And that means that Bloodyknight is the one that will have to push throughout the game. This is a strategy that we have seen a couple of times now on this map. similar a bit to Hesse, where one side pushes early on, tries to get a small lead, and then defends it for the rest of the game. But there are more points that are pushable here than on Hesse. Like Hesse had a similar split map setup, but there is a bit more pushability in these points here. Leo 2A4 getting the shot. 113 falling back. Leo 2s keep on generating value right now. No Strike Eagle in the air. If you can get a couple of kills on cheetahs, then the Strike Eagle maybe can start coming around, but as long as there are 3 cheetahs and an Eyehawk, no way you want to risk the Strike Eagle around this. And Leo 2A4B here, slowly advancing. O2 of Bloodyknight engaging the Bradley. Bradley not smoking off, just gets killed. And the infantry here gets completely cleared up, and that's a big blob of forces for Bloodyknight. Bloodyknight realizing that they might just be in the money here right now. Ooh, YPR pushes a bit quickly. National Guard gets the YPR #1, but the other ones moving up as well. MR13 just trying to figure out what's going on here and maybe realizing that not much is going on at all. M1IPs here rotating up north, but Foxtrot and Echo are in a bit of trouble. M113 smoking off. YPR just pushes on. And Mix90 might have to pay the price for their not so great trade so far. There 2A4Bs here coming around the numbers. Genia Command moving up as well. YPR pushing forward, getting towards Foxtrot. TV YPR getting ready. M110 really good unit. Great artillery. An advantage for the 4th Division. And one of the reasons why 4th Division currently is such a good division as well. It also has good artillery in a division that has heavy tanks. To A1 Bradley here with the TOW 2s. Getting good hits. Getting a kill against the Leo 2A4. Important. Really, really important. You want to start getting the kills there. You don't have endless numbers of those heavy tanks in 4th Division. You have a good couple, but they are not endless, and they're also obviously pretty expensive, so that's a great trade. And yeah, that's how you want to play this. Just making it annoying with a lot of Bradleys around the board. Oh no! Oh, big mistake by Bloodyknight, getting side-shotted by the next... the Bradley getting 2 Leo 2s here. And that means Charlie is wide open here. Once more, for Mix90 can just drive back in there, most likely clean out the enemy commander there. So, will keep the pressure up north. Delta relatively open as well once the M1IPs come around, but they rotate south now. Okay, so doesn't want to give up Foxtrot and Echo. I kind of thought that they might split up Foxtrot and Echo for Charlie and Delta, but that's not the case. The tanks of Mix90 starting to rotate south. M1IP here. Just face checking the bush against KCT Vercanners. And oh, YPR is finding a National Guard Apache. That's a great kill. YPRs will get the kill there in a second. There we go. Next helicopter goes down here as well. POH. Bradley's getting a decent engagement here. National Guard Bradleys with their decent autocannon as well. Bushmaster versus Ehrlichen. Lower accuracy makes it a bit less efficient on these ranges. Whilst the M1IP just face checks the Dutch infantry. Kill on the aircraft here. 5 HE here coming around. Trying to do a bombing run, but the M1IP face check working out nicely. Leo 2's not around the numbers. YPR with the TOW 2. You don't want to face check that. Yeah, that. Oh, M1IP gets shot again. Good kill there for Bloodyknight. Getting a bit of revenge for his tanks, and especially for the infantry here getting mopped down by the M1IPs. And will stop the tick now. Well, it's Mix90 trying to rotate around. Leo 2 replacement has arrived. Bradley under fire. Scouts getting shot up here. Really good game. I like the maneuvering on both sides. Realizing when the enemy has overextended and has a weak spot. And Bradley here trying to find a hit. So far, I think Bloodyknight trading pretty well here against Mix90. Losing the CV is annoying. Not getting the tech with it in the south. And obviously the loss of the 2 layer 2 is pretty unfortunate, but risky moving it with the Bradley and good reward there for Mix90. Any of the canners here can do little. Well, it's only a Jeep with a 50 cal, so they can engage it with them with their Uzis, but Uzis actually not that great. And yeah, layer 2 is rotating around to actually help out. More YPRs coming around as well. Next layer 2 now. They'll find the M1 at 50. Try to wreak havoc behind the lines. Cheetah number is down to 1. And that starts to become scary for the Leopards. Because we might get into territory of the Strike Eagle. Well, in the north. Just a couple of recon. Delta, not quite the goal. CP Mud going around, but good station here with the Panzer Infantry. Good deep infantry movement here of Bloodyknight. Moving into this would be even better with the rest of the infantry. Oh no, Cheetah! Okay, next one goes down. I think the Strike Eagle can be unleashed now. Or 10 on the other side. Hitting Chaparral. Gets an immediate kill. Might even get a kill on the CV. Yeah. And the ATGM vehicle next to it. Cluster F-16 coming in for the M1 IP. Now that Chaparral is dead, Pivot and Chaparral number 2 trying to get some hits, but not really achieving much. Great strikes for Bloodyknight. Using the situation. On the other side though. Panzer Infantry went down again. Bradley's rotating around. Sides pushing the enemy captured zone a bit again, but Bloodyknight a bit faster here. Bradley has to be careful. Yeah, doesn't want to get shot up. Oh no, smokes the wrong direction. Moves the wrong direction as well. Doesn't get hit. Ito forces the layer 2 to move. Have reinforcements towards the south. No CV on the battlefield actually right now for Bloodyknight. Well, there is a Genius support CV actually, but that might run into the Bradley. And I feel like Bloodyknight has to be careful to not run out of CVs in general here. Ito gets a hit against the layer 2A4. We're only 15 minutes in and a good couple of their CVs have died. And the next one is going on a bit of a suicide mission here down in the south as well. Or 10 aiming for the Ito. That is good. But yeah, CV especially needed here right now. We got Fireteam Dragon moving around. Kenya commanders. Will get shot at here in a second. Need to unload. Don't unload. Get killed in transport. Won't get capture. Bit of an overextension there from Bloodyknight. And yeah, no capture of Charlie yet. No take back here. Well, good movement is coming towards Foxtrot. And making the life of our player in blue a good bit harder. Mix90 so far finding a decent way of dealing with the layer 2s. But still needs a bit more AA, the MR10 and the cluster F-16s. The scary assets as well. Layer 2A4 starting to really push forward. No CV brought up. Panzer Infantry under pressure. Nothing in front of Alpha. So Bloodyknight playing with fire there with the Foxtrot position as well. Well, it's a lot of investments towards the north. Trying to overwhelm the ATGM positions there. Cluster Bomber will find Bradley. 13. Might get killed there. Gets the kill into the other side against the ATGM vehicle as well. 50. Not really worth the cluster. Layer 2A4 should be able to deal with that. Well, not like that. Oh, and there comes the Strike Eagle. First kill. for the big boy. Rotating around for the next kill. Okay, going for the recon helicopter next. Gets the kill there. Ihawk not in position. TV Leo 2 coming around. Strike Eagle gets the next kill here. Going up the next unit. With a IV. 5HE coming around, but the next F-15 Eagle here around now. Air control for 24th. Ihawk not firing. Should. Yeah. Doesn't get the hit against the Eagle on the other side. Eagle gets the kill against the F5. Rotates around. Mix90 really getting back into this. And really starts at some advantage in the KD. A lot more red than blue units here now. I think Bloodyknight time around in quite a bit of trouble. Leo to a 4B. Rolling forward in the north. Move towards Chalet. +2 now for Bloodyknight again. Have a couple of units holding against the Panzer Infantry in the north. YPR about to get shut down. Panzer Infantry rotating. Go over here. Getting around as well. Gets shut down too. 110 out of ammo. Needs some resupply. Get resupplied. Leo 2A4B number 2. Moving around. Towards Bravo. Fire team Law versus Genia Vercanis in the north. There too. You can see flying around in the rear. There comes the cluster bomber again. Ihawk gets hit against the Eagle this time around. Doesn't have a reload though. Stinger got down, so the F-15 will stay alive. Cluster bomber still around, but pretty stressed out. Oh, might get stressed out and forced to return before it can get a kill on anything. And Bloodyknight under a lot of pressure. Next Leo coming around. Double Ihawk investment now. You want to get the kill onto those planes eventually now. Don't want to lose your Leo 2A force against any more Strike Eagles, at least not without trading. Leo 2A4C getting the kill. Moving on. 4B leader. Hang around as well. Stop the take. 522 points here for Mix90. Only 137 so far on the other side, meaning that the push has to come from the blue side here. With us just reaching the halfway point of the game time. HE bomber and cluster bomber trying to run around. So far the HE bomber is not faring all that well. We'll try to help out against an fire team Law north. Cluster nearly has decent cohesion again. Doesn't really have a target. IP comes around south, but we're not gonna spot it anytime soon. The Leo 2 ball has been re-established. Starts doing decent damage once more here. 7mm under fire. And 1 IP. Not the right unit to fight 1v1. The Bradley gang has been reduced. And ooh! Cluster bomber doesn't quite get the kill and gets shut down by the Charlies. Gets a kill on the helicopter, but M1IP does barely survive. Great micro there from Mix90, and Bloodyknight still with a decent push here. Needs to get the kill onto the M1IP, I think, to really get the ball rolling and keep up the pressure on this point. The Chaparral's moving a bit too late here. Mix90 realizing that he doesn't even have any AT here at all. All is it without any AT. He has a Bradley from the north. That can be scary. Good disengagement there. Away from it. Gets the kill against it. And now Bloodyknight really keeps up the pressure. Cluster Bomber number 2 will find the job. Chaparral's just disengaging. So this time around the Cluster Bomber will survive as well. Mix90 trying to counter push in the south. That's not really working. YPR gets the kill there. There we go with a Strike Eagle again. Gets a bomb drop on the CV leader and gets the kill. +1 now for Bloodyknight. The Eyehawks not finding the hit. Important kill there. Whilst disengaging. Strike Eagles back in business. The best aircraft in the game starting to do its damage. '90 not pushing Alpha. Well, in the center here. Friendly numbers now arriving. M1IP TV arriving as well. 5HE need to find valuable targets. Eyehawks need to be a bit closer here. Actually have a shot at shooting the enemy down. Ooh. 5 in danger. Oh, gets shot down there once more. +1 really slow. Meanwhile, little protection for the north. Bradley gets the kill though. Eyehawks slowly moving up. Only 2 Leo 2s right now on the front line. F-15 in the skies. National Guard fire team pushing forward. Doesn't get a hit on the YPR just yet. On the YPR pre plus the Leo 2s will stun it down most likely in a second here. There we go. We'll kill it off, and then Foxtrot is in danger once more. Both sides on really low amount of forces for the stage of the game and the width of the map. So gaps in both sides' defenses all across the map, making the engagements even more interesting, as any loss here right now could create a take for the other side. Oh, the 7mm MG here in a really annoying spot. Won't get the kill against the Eyehawk, but will push them back and will annoy the living heck out of them. F-15 pushed back. 7mm likely gonna get shut up here now by Leo 2. This coming out of the forest. Eyehawk's forced to fall back. Bradley's not around to really give ATGM fire. Pulling out in the north. Leo 2A4 numbers going up a bit again, but you need to get the kill onto the plane eventually. Otherwise, that one will be quite bad. F-16 cluster in the sky here. On the hunt for another M1IP. M1IP-CV would be a key one. Both sides never really able to establish their full dream scenario combine arms. The M1IP in front of Bradley's hasn't really materialized yet, because M1IPs just died a bit, and then Bradley started dying a bit when the M1IPs weren't around. That's the big Leo 2A4 blob under the great protection of a cheetah wave with a decent amount of Eyehawks and enough recon around it. Hasn't really materialized either. The recon is not great. The AA is only decent. Rakil this time around doesn't get the kit. Bloodyknight disengaging quickly enough. This is pretty good. And the infantry gets lit up. Gets pushed back. And Phantom here in the sky. Stays annoying. Cluster Bomber and the AA-16 chasing. Strike Eagle now rotating around. Will get pushed back, and that's actually a nice win here for Bloodyknight. Ooh, gets the hit, might even find the kill. Finds the kill against the Strike Eagle with the F-16A cluster. Yeah, the 4 AA missiles on this, making it a pretty decent fighter as well, actually. The Phantom gets the kill onto the AA F-16. Cluster 1 likely is going to make it back, though. And the Strike Eagle kill is a massive victory here for Bloodyknight. Will enable the Leo 2A4's movement a lot more. As Peter tries to turn around here. Vulcan, the better turn radius there of the F-16, really winning it before he gets pushed back. Bit of a weird engagement pattern there by Mix90 as well. The plane's not really decisive in their movement and allowing Bloodyknight's fighters to get close enough to fire their missiles and then overwhelm 2-1 in 2-1 scenarios. Ito gets pushed back here. Leo 2A4 keeps up the pressure, and the South back in Bloodyknight's favor for Leo 2A4s here now in this area. There are a decent amount of Bradleys, 2 M1IPs, go 2 around as well, but it's not quite the death ball of M1IP with Bradleys that you really want to have at this stage as Mix90. It's starting to get there now with 12 minutes remaining in the game, and they are still ahead in points here. Mix90 is still a good 300 points ahead here, but this is seemingly pushable here right now if moved correctly by Bloodyknight, and I'm really impressed by Bloodyknight as a player. We knew Mix90 is on fire at the moment this season, but yeah, Bloodyknight is so far keeping up really nicely. Loses a Leo 2A4 here to the TOW 2, but immediately will get the TOW 2 blown to smithereens by the M110 as well. Got an Ito beforehand as well, so the Leo 2A4 loss is annoying, but a decent trade there once more, and is getting pretty close on getting some more capture points here. Any other canners pushing towards south, more mortars, more YPR coming around, and yep, Bloodyknight holding up nicely, but still needs those points. Still needs to get a good couple more points to get away here as the winner. At least 230 more points to get into draw territory. And yeah, 430 more points to get to the win territory. Panzer Infantry slowly moves on. And the CV situation here, not great. This might be the last CV on the battlefield right now for Bloodyknight. Or in the deck. Like, it is the last one on the battlefield. And they lost so many, including another Leo 2A4 leader already, that high chances that this is the last one they actually get. F-15 Eagle AA doesn't quite get the kill just yet, but on the way out, cleans out the cluster. Yeah, with 2 good long-range AA, with the better ECM and so on. Chances were on their side. Hawks not really in that position right now. This Leo 2A4s keep on pushing forward. M1IP on the other side. 2 M1IP leaders here. Engaging the Panzer Infantry. Kev and Bradley's in a decent spot as well. Yeah, the Eagle gets pushed back. Takes some damage. Forced the way out. More Leo 2A4s here. And the Panzer Infantry that's actually in an interesting ambush position here. Right behind the enemy lines. Phantom back into action. But I believe all of Bloodyknight's strike aircraft have been shut down, so no big situation there. Another Panzer Infantry will be brought up here. Smoke has been seen, so Mix90 knows what's going on. Will prevent that from escalating. And Mix90 on paper only has to hold now. Artillery firing towards the Bradley. Leo 2A4s starting the move. Bradley versus YPR. Good smoke here by Bloodyknight. 110. Finding a good hit. Bradley not moving. Ooh, Leo 2A4 not dying. Down to 1 hit point. Bloodyknight playing with fire there. As, yeah, this might be their last CV in the deck. Leo 2A4B getting the kill into the M1IP there though. The other M1IPs, Bradley's and as Kev trying to rotate around. The Leo's currently not in the best state here. Gets hit. Rotates just in time to get hit frontally. Next M1IP here. Gets around, get the kill. Leo 2A4B pretty low. Only 4 hit points remaining. 1IP gets shot first though. Kev not dealing the damage. And Bloodyknight prevails in the fight. comes out ahead. Fire team under fire. Phantom pushed back by the air. The Panzer infantry is moving around annoyingly now. Bradleys and fire teams trying to hold them off. O2 here on the flank. Get shot onto layer 2A4 leader. CVC, what's the leader? Still down to 1 hit point. Still needing more repair, more supply on the way, more infantry needed. In general, really successful for Bloodyknight so far. But yeah, that absolutely could have been game. And layer 2A4 going down to 1 hit point. Really a lifesaver there for Bloodyknight. Even if they have another CV. Okay, they have another layer 2A4 leader. It would have taken a while to arrive here. And that might not be enough time once that arrives here to even turn this around anymore. Yes, we only have 7 minutes remaining. That will need another good 2 minutes here to arrive. So layer 2A4 leader needs to get in there and is moving aggressively now to do so. IPR and layer 2A4 is in a good spot, and this might be another game where Bloodyknight just breaks the enemy at the end of the game. It's looking pretty promising that Mix90 has at least a decent concave setup to welcome the enemy. You have to have some smoke plays here from Bloodyknight to prevent the side flank here from the Totus. And the layer 2A4 leader in a good bit of trouble. Cav actually might just try to push that. The 1 hit point unit. But the Cav goes down. Or it can get the hit. Totu. Oh. Finds the kill. That's big. That's big. The next layer 2A4 leader is still a good bit out. Oh, is that enough time now for Mix90 to get the second map here? Totu with the important kill. No tick for the foreseeable future here. For Bloodyknight needs to get that CV up here now and into the zone and into the +2, maybe even towards the south. But there are 3 CVs here now and a decent amount of firepower with Bradleys and M1 IPs around for Mix90 again. So getting into the zone even won't be all that easy. O2 under fire here by the M110 now. Layer 2's getting repaired and the layer 2A4 leader might have wanted to wait a bit longer there once more, but time is of the essence here right now, and that might have made Bloodyknight overextend here a bit. O2 will go down there. No CV towards the north. No CV on the battlefield anymore right now either. Bradleys versus YPR. Trying to get a rear shot there. Doesn't quite get it. HE. F4. Getting a good hit. F16. Gets killed out on the way out. Layer 2A4 is pushing forwards. Jenny is not in a position to really do any damage there. Layer 2A4 leader rotates around. Bradley goes down. IPRs pushing forward now as well. IPR is not spotting the Bradley. Only now starting to engage. When in autocannon range, but the missile still might hit first. That's so. So still okay trade. Leo 2's forced to disengage. Get the CV kill. The Leos might find a mud CV here as well. 4 minutes 38. That will be a good 300 something points here if only 1 point is fully captured. But might be enough with capturing Echo as well. So Bloodyknight still with a bit of a chance here for victory. Mud CV on the other side. Rotating around. Rotating actually maybe to get into another zone northwards. Mud CP number 2 coming around. Leo 2A4 leader getting in here, and Bloodyknight at least getting closer to the draw in the second map, which would mean a general win in the series with a 3-1 victory, potentially. And maybe still chances on a full-on victory as well. Needs to get the +2 here, up for a while though. And yeah, it needs to rotate south. Late by here. He still has a second layer 2A4 leader. That is way too late in the buy as well, as I said though. Layer 2A4 B commander now rotating south. 3 minutes 30. That would still be enough if the full zone here is captured. 3 minutes would be more than enough. 160 points per minute that would be. So Mix90 needs to get somewhere else. The Mud CP here rotating in is quite clever. L2A4 leader from the rear, not really rotating towards Charlie, so that really could be big. L2A4 leader here, smoking off. Mud CP moving south. That's the one over here, supported by the Bradley. Will now get in. Might even just get in towards Delta as well. As the +4 was up here for a bit, but will now be stopped again. +3 for a couple of seconds here. Or the zone is fully captured. And don't think a +2 is going to be enough for victory. It would be a draw at that point. Well, yeah, the MUD-CP just might move on to the next zone there in the north. Might even stop the tick completely. We are still 60 points away here, which is a bit less than a minute for Bloodyknight from getting a draw. So Bloodyknight needs to be careful there. Leo 2A4B commander now rotating up north. Ooh, YPR. Trying to find the kill there. The other YPRs rotating around, trying to kill the Mud. You at least stop it from fully capturing, you would still at least get the +1. That's the Mud CP now here moving south. Oh, that would be a big kill as well. Leo 2A4 leader here in a bit of trouble. If Mix90 actually just rotates north, he can get the full capture of this. And with that, still likely secure the victory. We are just about to get into draw territory. We have entered draw territory. As the +1 is stopped. Mud CP over here now doing the race towards the point. YPRs are around. Might even kill it off before it gets into the zone. No, it gets into the zone. Zone in the south, about to be fully captured. But the Mud CP is the first unit that the Leo 2A4 leader will see. No, it doesn't focus fire. It doesn't focus fire. But the YPR might. Gets the kill. And there's no unit here that has AT. Oh, disaster for Mix90. Loses the CV. And the Leo 2A4 leader will get the full capture here. And there is no other CV on the way for Mix90. Mix90 seemingly run out of CVs as well. Leo 2A4 leader will get in here. And with the take, will maybe even still get a... No, will not get a victory, because that would need 200 points. Leo 2A4 leader, yeah, could even run north here, but that still wouldn't change anything. +2 is not enough. +4 won't be enough either. +5 is what you could get here maybe, but that still doesn't change anything. We have too few seconds left, so we will have a draw here in game number 2. Fantastic game number 2. Really, really interesting war of movement, and my love for Chandra keeps on raising. Like, this is the kind of maps I wanted out of WARNO. This is not a spectacularly complicated map. This is still a defender's advantage map, so that you can't really cheese on it. And it goes somewhat long, but it does allow for a lot of combat all over the place all the time, and for units to really play to their strengths. And yeah, there we go. We have a draw. Well executed game from both players. Really, really cool action. And a well-deserved draw here with Bloodyknight getting a well-deserved series victory. But with Mix90 getting a point out of this, and with that, Mix90 being a good bit closer to the playoffs as well, with 2 wins and 1 extra point here out of this kind of series. He only needs a couple more, like 1 more map out of his final game. That will be against ProCommie. If he loses there, he still has decent chances of not making it into the playoffs. But a draw or so there would be nice for him. While Bloodyknight now really with big points here against Mix90. Series win against the favorite of the group. And that means if he can get some points against the other guys, has really solid chances making it into the playoffs. Would be a big upset in a group with Scoof and ProCommie, with 2 other previous WARNO League finalists. And yeah, bottom feeder, a top level player as well. Bloodyknight was seeded as number 5 here in this group basically. And now upset against Mix90. Really big one. Should be exciting. And yeah, with that, we're gonna end the stream here for tonight. My voice is about to die. We're gonna have more WARNO tomorrow. I might cast a bit more WARNO League, but big part tomorrow will be at 9 PM. We're gonna continue the multiplayer Army General campaign in the Southwick campaign. So be around for that. And I will be joined once more by Atakawa, Vampiro, and hanging on the name right now, Immersive. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. So see you all there, guys. Thanks for watching. It was a really fun one. Really, really good game here. Yeah, I will now drink a tea with some honey to get my vocal cords back in order. Stretch a bit here. See each other back with some roll.